Late Night Thoughts by Songbird. He was lying awake in his bed, curled up on his side, his eyes open in the darkness, his look distant as he lay there, staring off into the darkness, thinking of her. The memories were bittersweet to him, the memory of her bright smile and the sound of her effortless and musical laughter, and the way she never tried to hide away her smile or her laughter around him, or tried to censor herself around him, or pretended to be someone other than who she really was around him, the way she always did with everyone else she'd ever known in her life. He knew her, really knew her, and he knew it. More than that, he knew that she knew that he knew it. She came alive around him, as he always felt he came alive around her, and that fact was never as glaringly obvious to him as it was now, lying alone in his bed in the darkness, and wishing she was there for him to talk to, for him to hold, the way he'd caught himself imagining more and more often lately. And he was aware of the fact now that the more he tried to deny the fact that he'd come to think of her in a much more intimate capacity than was probably appropriate, the more he realized it was true, and that it had been for a long time. He loved her, and on some level or other he'd always been aware of it, even from the start, but then she was an easy person to love. That wasn't the problem. She was a beacon, a rare and incredible sort of person, and her light had drawn people to her all her life, seeking comfort, seeking shelter, seeking to share in her warmth, her light, her goodness. The problem wasn't that he loved her. Hell, that was part of the reason they'd gotten along so well all this time. The problem began on the day he was standing there, talking with her about everything and nothing the way they always had, and suddenly standing there, listening to her ramble on about nothing with passion and vigor the way she always did. He'd found himself wanting to lean in and kiss her. It was one thing to curl up on the couch and watch movies together. It was one thing to tease one another, or for them to flirt when they both knew there was no ulterior motive behind it. That was just part of the charm of their friendship dynamic. But this was something else, and it scared him. It's like 7 o'clock at night. That was the end of it, by the way, not the 7 o'clock part, the it scared him part. It's like 7 o'clock at night. I've been fighting writer's block off and on all week long, and I had my stepsons with me all week, and I had my hubby here for the last few days, and he's actually working tonight. They called him in for overtime. But I was just sitting here thinking about painting my nails, and all of a sudden this scene started coming to me, and it may be a throwaway, it may be a do nothing. I just wrote that scene just now all in one shot. And I wanted to share it with you guys to see what you thought. And you guys know, me sharing my writing with you guys is kind of my way of finding out if maybe there could be something to my writing, if there's something in my work that people enjoy. If you guys think maybe there's something there. So I wanted to share this one with you guys because I like showing you my fresh stuff as I come up with it, so you guys know what I'm capable of, and I can find out if people enjoy what I do. So I'd like to know what you guys thought, and I laugh. When I write, when scenes like this come to me, I see it in my head. I could see him laying there thinking about whoever she was, and I don't know who he is, I don't know who she is, I just know it was there. But just, I wanted to share that with you guys because I hadn't shared writing in a while, and I wanted to know what you guys thought. Coming up, Gwen? Come on, baby girl. There you go. I wanted your ears inside out. I wanted to know what you guys thought, so go ahead and get back to me. Let me know what you think, who you think he is, who you think she is, what you think's going on. Hi Gwen. She wants food. I leave food down for him all day. She's not starving, really. But I wanted to know what you guys thought. I'm sorry I didn't do an intro to this one. I thought it would make more sense to just go right into the story rather than do an intro and go into the story. When I do work like this, I like going into it and actually letting you guys hear the story and get into it. And then afterwards talk about it. If you go back to my other stories I've shared, I prefer to do it this way. That way it gives you guys a chance to actually see the work for what it is. And then I go back to being me afterwards. But let me know what you guys thought. I hope you enjoy this one. Like I said, don't judge it too harshly. I wrote it in like the last 10 minutes, all in one shot. I sat down and wrote it out on my screen. I'd show it to you on my screen, but I'd have to switch from my webcam and the settings, and it's a nightmare. But I wanted to see what you guys thought of that one and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and post this one on the weekend because I just wrote it. And like I said, I like you guys to get a fresh view of things as I think of them to see what you think so I know what I need to work on. But this has been AV Songbird sharing late night thoughts. I think that's what I called it. Yeah, late night thoughts. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night and an awesome weekend. Bye, guys.